Hi, my name is Esperanza Soriano-McCrary. I'm the Parent Engagement Specialist for the Clarksville-Montgomery County School System. And on this episode of Engage TV, I'm joined by Mr. Taylor Hall, Outreach Director for the State Collaborative on Reforming Education. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us, why is the TNReady Assessment so important?
TNReady is the new statewide summative assessment that students will take at the end of course or at the end of the year that actually measures what kids are learning in the classroom every single day. It's different from the previous TCAPs because it's going to measure critical thinking and problem solving, which are skills that Tennessee employers are telling our educators are really important to make sure that our students are ready for the 21st century workforce.
Now, there's been some concerns with parents about the length of the assessment. Has there been any changes, or is that still the same?
There's actually a 30% reduction in the amount of test-taking time compared to last year. That's something that the State Department of Education looked at to say, we want to be listening to educators and parents and be responsive. So there's a 30% reduction to address those issues.
Another concern was making sure that students are learning what they're supposed to be learning, right? Do you have anything to share about that?
TNReady is actually aligned to the academic standards in Tennessee. So what that means is that TNReady matches what teachers are teaching in the classroom every single day. So that at the end of the year, when these assessments are conducted, that teachers and parents are going to have a really good picture of how students are performing on these assessments.
How can parents receive that information, the progress that the student is making, and then once they receive that information, what do they need to do with that information that they've gotten about their students' assessment? One
of the best attributes about TNReady is the new student report. These are reports that are going to go home to parents and teachers and principals and administrators are all going to be able to see specifically how students performed on individual academic standards. So it can show where a child may need some additional help and areas where they've excelled.
So SCORE just released a report on teacher preparation. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Well, teachers are the most important in-school factor for student success. And so SCORE strongly believes that that work to prepare teachers for entering the classroom can begin while they're in college as well. So our team has been working with educator preparation programs throughout the state to improve practices and make sure that all of our teachers can be the most effective they can be for their students.
Now, how many universities are you working with within the Nashville or even just Tennessee area?
There are over 40 educator preparation programs in Tennessee, and the SCORE team has been in touch with all of those programs and continues to work collaboratively to make recommendations and improvements for practice.
Awesome. That's awesome. So in closing, what are 3 things we can share with our parents to help their students prepare for this very important assessment?
The first would be to get more information. So I highly recommend that parents go to tnready.gov to be able to learn more about how the State Department has gone about creating TNReady assessments and to look at the student reports to make sure that parents have a good picture of what to expect after their child takes the assessment. The second thing that parents can do is talk to their child's teacher. That's a really important way for parents to be engaged in their child's education experience. And the third would be to help their child with their homework, because the best part about TNReady is that it's actually measuring the academic standards that are taught in the classroom every day. So the everyday academic preparation is going to be preparing their students for TNReady.
Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you.